Hello fashion lovers, welcome to today's episode. We are still on the principles of cutting, and today we are going to learn how to cut a pencil skirt. When you want to cut a pencil skirt, you know a skirt always starts from the waist to the down. So in our principles of cutting, our rule says how wide we are cutting, we should consider the biggest 360. The biggest 360 in a pencil skirt from the waist, it will be our waist, which we are going to record it as 32, our hip 44. So those are the two 360s that we have in our pencil skirt. And the rule says when you want to cut how wide, consider the biggest 360. And when you consider the waist and the hip, definitely it's the hip that is the biggest. So how wide we are cutting is going to be the hip, which is 44 divided by 4 plus our 3 inches allowance. So when you divide the hip 44 by 4, we are going to get 11 plus the 3 inches going to give us 14. So how wide we are cutting is 14. Then how long we are going to cut is the length. And the length in a pencil skirt, the length of the skirt that you want. This time I'm choosing 25 inches. Yours can be 30 and yours can be even 40. So you choose the length of the skirt you want. That's the length, which is the 25. And definitely we have to add allowance to the length we are choosing. So we are going to add our 3 inches and it's going to be 28 inches. So in conclusion, what we are cutting for our skirt is 14 inches by 28. So when you get your how wide and how long you are going to cut, then you take the fabric. Because of tutorials that I'm using grey baht, later when I show you how to finish the pencil skirt, I'll use a real fabric. So how wide we are cutting is 14. So you take your fabric, and remember the 14 is just a quarter of the 360. So we are going to, if you want the front, we are going to fold it into 2, then measure our 14. So you fold it like this. You take your tape measure and measure 14. That is the width. So my 14 is going to be here, so I'm going to hold that end and pull it back to get my 14. If it's too much for the more than 14, then you pull it back and make sure you get exactly 14, because you have enough allowance that you've added, so you don't need any excess. So you measure your 14, you check the down part too if it's 14. Yeah, good. So we have our 14 inches wide, then our 28 inches long. So you put your tape measure on it and mark 28 inches. So if yours was 35 inches in length, you just add 3 inches to get your 38, then you mark where 38 is. To get an accurate straight line, you can check on the side here and mark the 28 again, so that you get a straight line. So I've marked my 14 inches in width by 28 inches in length. So I'm going to cut my front. Good. So this is the front, which when you open, you have both the left and the right. So going to cut the back, you just fold it the same way. The only difference is we are going to add the zip allowance to the back. So you fold your cloth Then just put your front on it, just leaving your 1.5 inches zip allowance. So you don't need to measure the back again. The front can help you cut the back. Then just leaving the zip allowance of 1.5. But when you finish, just use your tape measure to check if you have 1.5 inches. If it's not up to, just pull it a little and make sure you get your 1.5 inches zip allowance. Then you cut. So, looking at it, I've gotten my front and my back with my 1.5 inch allowance zip. If your fabric is too crumpled, make sure to press it with an iron so that you get a smooth. So after pressing, you get a very neat front and back for your pencil skirt. So in summary, when you want to cut your pencil skirt, just always know how wide you are cutting. And the rule says take the biggest 360, divide by 4, add 3 inches by the length plus 3 inches. So in my next video, I'll show you how to sew and finish the pencil skirt. Thank you for watching this episode. Thank you for joining us on today's episode. I hope you learned something. If you have any question, drop it in the comment section below or contact the number on the screen. If you are interested in joining the Knaspa fashion training, call the number on the screen for more information. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. See you on the next episode. Thank you.